Good afternoon, everyone. Well, today's session is brought to you by Grow Technologies in collaboration with Tally Solutions, with the aim of helping businesses understand the upcoming e-invoicing framework and to prepare for a smooth transition. Well, before we begin, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our guest speaker, Mr. Praveen Kumar, business manager and product expert at Tally Solutions. With over 8 years of experience across the UAE, Saudi, and Bahrain markets, Mr. Praveen brings extensive expertise in digital transformation, business solutions, and compliance readiness. Having successfully managed and delivered more than 100 business events and knowledge sessions across the region, he brings valuable practical insights to today's discussion. We are delighted to have him with us and look forward to an informative session on UAE e-invoicing, ASP selection, and how businesses can start preparing today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Jasnit, for such a warm welcome. Thank you, and welcome everyone for today's session as well. As Jasnit mentioned, in today's session, we are going to focus primarily on getting a quick overview as to what is UAE e-invoicing, what are all the kind of types of businesses that fall under this framework, how do you get started with the selection of your ASP, will Tally be an ASP? That's another question to answer. And then how does TallyPrime as a product help you generate your invoices in your current systems? And yes, as we know, UAE invoicing is being implemented in two different phases, phase one and phase two. Let's also take a look at the bifurcation, which category that your business falls in, all of that. So before we dive into UAE e-invoicing, so let us take a quick look at UAE VAT e-returns. So very recently in the very release TallyPrime 6.0, we brought in an integrated digitalized automated VAT e-filing right within TallyPrime itself. So where your VAT filing can be done within TallyPrime without you having to log into your Imara tax portal and manually keying in the numbers. So let's take a look how it works. I'll click on exchange at the top. So then I'll click on upload VAT 201 return. So then I have the option to log in to my 201 return. So the moment I click on login via browser, this is where I will build a bridge between Imara Tax Portal and my software TallyPrime. I'll enter my company's unique email ID and password and the security code, of course. Once I authenticate the credentials, I'll click on login. So the session will be valid and active for up to 30 minutes. So where the complete data exchange right from Tally itself seamlessly flows to your Imara tax portal. So here you can see the historical VAT e-filings that you have filed previously and the ones which is currently open for submission. So once you enter on the particular month or quarterly, you will get the list of all the figures right from your books of accounts in Tally. You can further validate the figures, the sales, the input VAT, output VAT, all of it. And once you're good to go, just click on submit and confirm the submission of your VAT 201. And instantly, the complete VAT 201 report will be uploaded and filed. And Tally will also help you look at the generate the VAT reference number right here. So this automated process brings in a much more a faster and much more easier VAT filing experience at your level, right? So this marks a remarkable digitization step in collaboration with the FTA, where we signed a digital tax agreement to enable and enhance this particular seamless connectivity from the product to your Imara tax portal. So with continuation to this is the next big leap in the compliance, that is your e-invoicing. So taking a quick universal look at the coverage that happens within the UAE, all the businesses who generate B2B and B2G transactions will fall under the framework of e-invoicing. So maybe you're registered for VAT, maybe you're not registered for VAT, maybe you're somebody who purely operates in a drop shipment or a high seas business. it is all irrelevant when it comes to e-invoicing. As long as you have the trade license in the region, UAE, and then you also do B2B and B2G invoicing transactions, then you must comply with the e-invoicing law. Many of you might have already been hearing PEPAL for quite some time now. So UAE is going ahead with PEPAL's five corner model framework. So basically, PEPAL is a structured, standardized framework that is globally recognized and accepted, which basically originated in Belgium, a country in Europe, and then now it is being replicated and utilized here in UAE as well. So why did government choose PEPAL's five corner model? So one of the unique characteristic of PEPAL's five corner model is that every single invoice, it is being real time validated by the ASPs. PEPAL also provides a strict and stringent rules and regulations that every ASP must follow in terms of generating e-invoices. And also, the complete traceability of the invoice is one of the key characteristic of PEPAL 5 corner model. So where at any given point, government will be able to track and trace the invoices that all the businesses have generated in UAE. And yes, ASP is also something that you've been hearing for quite some time. So who can generate e-invoices, right? So only the accredited service providers who have been already PEPAL certified and who have been approved by the Ministry of Finance and Federal Tax Authority, only they are allowed to generate, read, validate, and further process e-invoices in UAE. So yes, if you are wondering which category and when do you have to start and what is the timeline, what is the deadlines. So right here, as you can see, all those businesses who have their latest turnover or latest corporate tax filing or latest year-end closure report stating they have a turnover above 50 million, you must select ASP by 30th October this year, and you will start issuing your first e-invoice from 1st Jan 2027. And those businesses who have less than 50 million, you will have to select your ASP before 31st March next year, and you will start your e-invoicing journey from 1st July 2027. Yes, even the government entities are not exempted from the e-invoicing framework. Even they have to follow the e-invoicing law. However, they will start a bit late, that is from 1st October 2027 next year. So let's, if you have to understand how the e-invoice is generated, then it is very important and crucial for you to understand the PEPAL's five corner model. So let's say you are using TallyPrime and you have appointed Tally as your ASP as well. In such case, let's say you generate your e-invoice from TallyPrime product. Once you generate, immediately Tally as an ASP, we will validate your content of the invoice, whether the data that you have entered is correct or are there any information which is mandated by the law is missing, right? So once we validate that, then we are further going to send it to your customer's ASP. So once your customer's ASP validates, then the invoice will be sent to your customer. Let's say we're using Tally. So then that invoice will appear in his system automatically. So then it is with customer's choice whether to accept or reject the invoices. So let's say he's fine with the content of the invoice, he accepts. Then finally, the entire cycle gets closed by reporting it to the Federal Tax Authority, which is corner 5. So here the data, that is your invoices, are being transmitted into multiple corners by XML format. XML is the format through which the data exchange happens from your product, your ASP, then your customer's ASP, then your customer's product, and then to your tax authority. So Tally being one of the India's leading e-invoice solution, which where we in a single day raise more than 40 million e-invoices, Now we are gearing up to provide a world-class solution for UAE as well. And yes, we are already approved in India by the GST Council. We are one of the GST providers. And in UAE, we are in the pre-production phase. We'll get to that later. And also in Saudi, if you see, we are one of the accredited and approved e-invoice solution providers by the Zakat Authority in Saudi as well. So we have completed the very first step, that is being PEPAL certified service providers in the country. We are already certified by the PEPAL. And the next step is we are already available and listed as pre-approved ASP in Ministry of Finance website. We will soon be available on Imara Tax portal for you guys to select Tally as your ASPs. And then the current progress situation is we are already working very closely in collaboration with Federal Tax Authority for the product development, right? So all the invoices, how you generate the data, how it has to flow to Imara Tax portal, how every invoice will have a unique identification number, and all of this is being currently under product development and testing with the Federal Tax Authority. And yes, as I mentioned, we will be very soon, that is, let's say in a week or so, will be available for all of you guys to select Tally as an ASP in your Imara Tax portal. Now, once you are listed, how do you do that? So go to your Imara Tax portal, enter your unique Imara login credential, that is your email ID, password, and the security code. Once you log in, this is the page that you're going to land in. So on the left hand side, you are already seeing e-invoicing. The moment you click here, it will list all of your company's name and their TIN number, tax identification number. So select your appropriate company for which you want to select Tally as your ASP. And then if you scroll down a bit, you will find the code and the name Tally Software Solution FZ Co. So right here, click on the radio button, select Tally, and then click on proceed to ASP. And then in the final step, you simply have to verify your Imara Tax email ID, mobile number, and your TIN number. So once you verify these information and click on verify applicant details, so then you will have successfully selected Tally as your ASP for e-invoicing. Now this is step number one. So once you're done with this, next step would be for you to build a handshake between your company in Tally and your Imara Tax portal. Now, how do you do that? You come to your Tally. You cannot do this in the current release, which is 7.0. We will be launching our latest version, that is TallyPrime release 7.1 on 23rd of this month, post which you will start seeing this option, right? So once you update to the latest version in the third week of this month, you will see e-invoicing login and logout. Click on this. Then you will have to authenticate your Tally license email and then the password, of course. And then you will come here to the step two, where you will have to read the terms and condition and the privacy policy that is stringent and strict by the PEPAL. So every customer before enabling this must read the terms and condition. Now, why is this important? As I mentioned, all of your invoices are going to go through XML format, which will be exchanged between multiple corners and then finally reported to Federal Tax Authority. Now it is utmost important for you to understand what part of your business data is being exchanged and what part of your business data stays with you, and what is the security that PayPal is applying here for your data, right? So all of those information will be available in the terms and condition. We do recommend for you to 100% go through it. So once you understood, click on yes and accept it, and then authenticate with your OTP. And then finally, you have to again verify your company's name as per VAT certificate, your company's TRN number, and your VAT TIN number. So once you verify this, now again you have to authenticate your Imara Tax email ID with an OTP. So there's two level of authentication here. One from Tally registered email ID authentication, that is your Tally license, and second, your Imara tax email authentication. Two levels of authentication. So once you've processed both of this, then TallyPrime will initiate the registration of e-invoicing of your company with Imara tax portal. So once it is successfully done, you will see this particular pop-up, and here you'll also see your unique PayPal ID. So your unique PayPal ID will be your electronic address, which will be utilized across the framework by all the companies, all of your customers, suppliers. And through this address, all of the sales invoice that you generate will flow, and all of the purchase invoices of yours from your vendor will flow to your system. So basically, to put it in simple terms, this will be your postal code. So where all of your uh, sales invoice and purchase invoice will automatically flow with this address in TallyPrime. So now, once you build the handshake and you registered your company and you also have received the PayPal ID, now what is your due diligence and what is the behavior of the product when you are generating your sales invoice in Tally? So let's quickly focus on the sales invoice because it's going to be a primary aspect of your e-invoicing journey. Let's focus on that. So if you see here in the sales watcher, pretty much all of the fields, everything stays very similar to as it is today. But however, there is one key difference if you look at the bottom corner in the left hand side. So once you save the voucher, let's say I've saved my sales voucher, then Tally will prompt you, do you want to generate e-invoice? And if you say yes, let's go ahead and generate e-invoice. Then this is the phase or this is the moment where Tally as an ASP will validate the contents and accuracy of your invoice. Let's say by mistakenly you're charging more than 5% VAT, less than 5%, or you've forgotten to mention the VAT number of your customer, or you've mentioned the wrong VAT number of your customer, or any of such information or instances, Tally will validate at this point. If all the information is correct, then you will get this pop-up that is invoice uploaded successfully. But any detail is missing, then you will get a failed pop-up or notification here so that you can act upon it. So next, once the invoice is generated, which means you're the corner one, you generated e-invoice, Tally as an ESP is the corner two, we have validated, it is successful, it is done. Now your corner three will receive this invoice, they will validate, and then corner four, and then finally corner five. Now okay, fine, that's great. But how do I track which corner my invoice is pending in, right? So yes, no need to worry. We have given that within the product itself. You do not have to toggle to any other website, portal, nothing. Right within the product itself, you'll be able to track for each and every invoice. Let's say if I click on this option, make it yes, you will see here this some of you might be familiar with the Saudi e-invoicing, wherein every invoice will have a QR code, right? So that is the mode of identification for every single e-invoice. However, in UAE, the department has gone ahead with universal unique identification number, which looks something like this. This will be the unique number that will be allocated for every single e-invoice, which will help department, PayPal or the ASPs to track your invoices in the framework. Next, as I mentioned, within the product itself, you can track each and every corner wise. As you can see here, corner 2 is generated. It is pending from corner 3 to validate and finally corner 5 to accept and acknowledge. So all of your invoicing journey, management, traceability, tracking, reports, it's all embedded within the product so that you don't have to navigate to multiple websites, portals, multiple tabs to do get your simple e-invoicing journey done. It's all embedded in the product. It saves a lot of time. It's much more efficient and it's much more accurate. So these are the 51 fields that have been mandated by the FTA. So depending on the nature of invoice, category of invoice, certain information out of this list becomes mandatory. Yes, I know. I definitely know. If you're wondering, like, how can I ensure all of this information is present in every single invoice? Definitely, it's going to be a burden. It's a big burden for all of you. So, which is where your ASP, that is Tally, is going to play a pivotal role to ensure that you are complying properly with the e-invoicing law. So, Tally as an ASP will validate and ensure that all the mandatory fields, depending upon your nature of transaction, we will ensure that the content is available and as accurate. This is a sample invoice for reference purpose. So where you can see the title, you will see a universally unique identification number of your e-invoice along with the time and date stamp. You will see your customer's PayPal ID appear here as well, and rest of the VAT information flows as usual. So many of you might be wondering, okay, the journey has been pretty simple. It's nothing complicated, so we can handle. Yes, definitely. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward as well. But again, there are certain key changes in your day-to-day transaction as well. One such instance is, let's say you're providing discount in an item. The current behavior is you provide 2% or you add a ledger at the bottom, say 200 dirham, 300 dirham, whatever the amount is, that's a discount. But once you onboard e-invoice, then you will have to statutorily mention the reason for the discount. Once you enter on the amount, this is the list of reasons provided by Federal Tax Authority. You have to select your reason among this. You cannot add any other reasons from your end. This is the list out of which you need to specify and add what is the reason for this discount. Maybe it is a sample discount, right? Or maybe it's a new branch that you opened. So you're giving a promotional a new outlet discount, or maybe it's a regular discount. You can just simply select that. So appropriate reason must be selected for your discount provided. We saw how once you save a sales voucher or your tax invoice, you can generate e-invoice. But there are instances where you are unsure of your invoice and you still need some more time to validate and authenticate the price, quantity, or even model of the product. In such cases, there is flexibility for all those businesses. Or even in some cases, you might have your manager, you might have approval system in your company where you record the transaction. There is your senior accountant who is going to approve those invoices, and there is a finance head who is going to further validate this invoice. Then you would want to generate e-invoice. Yes, considering all of these complications and challenges in the business, there is a flexibility where you have the option to punch in your sales now, but you still have 14 days from your date of supply, just like your VAT law, where you can generate invoices within those 14 period window. Now, how do you do that? Let's say I have recorded multiple sales transactions and I'll go to this report, exchange, send for invoicing. So once I click here, I'll get list of all the transaction, all the sales entry that I've recorded, but I have not generated e-invoice, right? So you can simply click on send. So all of these 8 transactions will be sent for e-invoice generation. But let's say I am only sure of top 3 transactions. Only top 3 transactions I want to generate e-invoice. Yes, definitely you can do that as well. So all you need to do is simply click on spacebar on every transaction, select them, and then click on send. Only these 3 transactions will go for e-invoice generation. Now, we discussed that there could be certain errors in your invoice. Maybe it's more than 5% of VAT you're charged, or you've forgotten to charge VAT altogether. Or maybe let's say the VAT number that you've entered for of your customer is wrong, right? In any such case where the information provided is incorrect, invalid, or missing, Tally will automatically put it into this bucket called uncertain transaction, which needs correction. So once you enter here, Tally will provide you the reason why this has been failed to generate e-invoice successfully. The reason could be VAT registration details, as I mentioned, it's invalid or not specified. You haven't properly mapped your unit of measure in the product, or you have not mentioned the proper nature of transaction, or taxability is wrong. In all of that, many reasons you will find, and here you'll have to come, re-verify the transaction and correct those information, and then generate e-invoices. So finally, the question stays, how to prepare for e-invoice? As we see, it's not as easy and simple as we expected or think it to be. In this case, how can you start now since you have ample amount of time? How can you start today to ensure that you onboard and you step into your e-invoice journey much more seamlessly and smoothly instead of last minute burden, last minute failures, right? So all you need to do is first start updating your company information as per your VAT certificate. Step number 1. And secondly, start validating and updating your customer ledgers, your supplier ledgers accurately as per their VAT certificate. And for those of you heavily deal with products into a trading business or a manufacturing, please review and classify all of your products and their services, their taxability accurately, be it 5%, exempt, not vatable, whatever it is. And then it is very important to understand the role of your ASPs. As you saw, all the heavy lifting will be done by your ASPs. So it's very important for you and your team to understand and familiarize the role that Tally as an ASP will be playing. And as we already saw, once you raise an e-invoice, there is no way it is going to be allowed, or it's going to be right for you to alter or cancel or delete these e-invoices. It is completely traceable and government can track your actions as well. In such cases, it is highly recommended to start your practice now, immediately, today, to issue credit notes and debit notes for any corrections instead of canceling, deleting, or editing the voucher itself. Right? Adopt the correct practices today so that it becomes habit once you enter e-invoicing. And yes, Tally as an ASP will do all the heavy lifting, but all the e-invoicing features, options as per the regulations will be updated in Tally. So it is very important for you to ensure that you're on the latest version of TallyPrime. And yes, I can't stress this point enough, but it is very important for you to ensure that all the relevant people that are involved in e-invoicing journey in your company are equipped with sufficient understanding and knowledge of Tally, how to handle e-invoicing in Tally, plus what is a basic e-invoicing law as well. Because again, as we all know, any non-compliance will immediately attract penalties, which we all don't like, right? So to ensure to do all of the step properly right now, which you can start today, and then you will see how easy it is to step into the journey of e-invoicing and to adopt the right practices early. So yes, with that, I think it's time to take the questions. If you have any questions, please do unmute yourself and ask, or you can simply type it in the chat box. I again urge all of you to put your questions in Teams chat box, or you can simply unmute yourself and ask as well. Okay, we have a couple of questions here. Do you already have a master data fields list? Yes, as I showed you in the slide, yes, there are 51 fields which are mandatory. Out of that, it is segmented item wise, seller details, buyer details, in such a manner. Definitely, wherever the fields it's possible, it's already most of the fields are already present and available in Tally today. You can immediately get started to update these. No, Mr. Lijo, B2C transaction will continue to be recorded and handled the way you do today. E-invoice is applicable only on the B2B and B2G transactions. For e-invoicing, any additional charges will there be to pay to Tally? Sir, I recommend you to get in touch with our team from Growth Technologies. They will be able to do the system study as to which version you're currently in and how do we onboard you on the e-invoicing. So they'll be able to help you out with the charges. So team, let's take another minute. I've already answered all the questions available. So guys, if you have any other question, please do put it in the chat box, or you can simply unmute yourself and ask as well. So we'll just spend another minute. For appointing Tally as an ASP, do we have to pay anything? Sir, again, as I suggested, for all the commercial related thing, we need to actually understand your current system and process, current version and Tally that you're in, and your subscription as well. So it would be highly recommended for you to get in touch with our team from Growth so they can help you with your journey. I believe there are no further questions. I think with that, then it's time to wind up the session. Jasneer, you want to close? Add something?
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. On behalf of Grow Technologies and Tally Solutions, we appreciate your participation in this webinar. A special thank you to Mr. Praveen Kumar for sharing his valuable insights on UAE invoicing. And we hope you found the session useful, everyone. And if you have any questions or need further assistance, our teams at Grow Technologies and Tally Solutions will be happy to help. And please do share us your feedback on the link given in the chat box as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone.